Okay, let's start writing our calendarDoGet function. Okay, just before that, let me just quickly go back to the utils, and what I want to do is once I have converted the Excel file to spreadsheet file, I want it to return to me the ID of the created file. Okay, so I'll put ID. Okay, and that will give me the ID of that created file. If there's an error, I'm going to return an empty string. Okay, same thing here, I'm going to return the ID. So I just say return, and if there's an error, I'm going to return an empty string. Okay, so I'm going to copy these lines, and I'm actually going to delete that function. I don't need it anymore. Save. I'm going to go back to the calendar, and I'm going to paste it here. So instead of defining the base folder ID, I'm actually going to define the actual folder. So this one will be drive app, and get folder by ID, and I'm going to get that folder. That will be my base folder, so I don't need this line. And this will be the base folder. Okay, so it will be calendar Excel file name, but then I will have to add the extension .xlsx. Okay, so I've got the Excel file, and then I will say I'm not going to do any error handling here, so I'm going to put down the spreadsheet is going to be equal to base folder dot get file by ID. No, it's actually drive app dot get file by ID, and the ID is going to be Excel to spreadsheet of the Excel file. Just delete that. Okay, so I've got my spreadsheet now. Then I will need to get the data. Let the worksheet is equal to spreadsheet get sheet by name. Oh, actually no, sorry, apologies. What we need to do is, we don't get the file, we need to get the spreadsheet. So we need spreadsheet app, and then open file. Okay, open by ID. Okay, and then we've got the ID. So now we have a spreadsheet, and the worksheet is going to be get sheet. So I'm just going to say get sheets, and I'm going to get the zeros, the first one. Okay, because it's only going to be only one sheet anyway. Right, so once we've got that, what we want to do is, so let last row equals ws get last row, and last call equals ws get last column. So here's my sample spreadsheet. Let's open it and see what we have. Yeah, so we've got start time, we've got end time, and we've got title, and we've got event ID. So actually, let's have some data. Let me just delete this one for now, the actual spreadsheet. So I've got my calendar Excel sheet. I'm going to open it with Excel. Let me create another one. Okay, and so we say the start time, end time, and then we have the title. And we call it calendar. Okay, and let's say event ID. Okay, so the start time, let's say it's 2020 November 01 at 9 AM. Okay, and the end time is going to be, actually let me just do it this way. I'm gonna do it as a string, so I'm gonna add an apostrophe there. So it's 2020 11/01. Okay, and the same thing for the end time, but then that will be, let's call it 30 minutes. Okay, the title is going to be morning briefing. Okay, save that and close it. Right, on our server side, okay, so we have, this is our Excel input file, and then the service, so we've got that, we've got up to the we've got our spreadsheet, our sheet, and then let's say for let I equals 2 and I is less than or equal to last row and I plus plus. Okay, and let's add an event. So we have our calendar app dot create event. So we need a title, we need a date, and we need we need a title, we need a start date at start time, which is of date type, and we need an end time. Okay, so we need that. Let's say, okay, so we have let title equals ws get range, and then we have I, and the column is 3. We know that. I'm just going to hard code this now. Okay, so we let start time equals, it expects a date, so we need to make a date, so we need new date, and then ws get range, and it is I and 1. That will be the start time. Okay, so we need to get value. Okay, do the same thing for the end time, and that will be the second column, and we call this end time. Right, so I think that will work. Oh, let me just not delete that, leave these two here. So I've just read and processed the data. Okay, we still need to convert the updated spreadsheet back into Excel. Let's see if this one works. Okay, so let's publish it. Okay, let's copy the URL, update it, give it all the permissions that it needs, because now remember we need to access the calendar. Okay, so update that. Right, so what happens when we come back here and then say service equals calendar? before I run this, I want to actually open my Google Calendar. So calendarDoGet.google.com. Okay. So I go back to the 1st of November, and I'm expecting this to be between 9 and 9:30. Okay, so I've got nothing there. If I go back here and enter that, let's see what happens. Okay, so the script completed but did not return anything. So when I come back here, have I got the calendar event? Yeah. Okay, so it's that, but then it's got, the title has got range. I think I know why, because I didn't get the value. So let me delete that. Okay, and we go back here. So the title, for the title I didn't say get value. Perfect. Okay, so now if I deploy again, okay, new update. Okay, and now if I go back to the Excel file, which is this one here, let me delete that, and let me just change the title name. Let's say briefing, let's call it first briefing. Okay, save that, close it, and now when I go back and I run this again, so remember we don't have that the event, we deleted it from here. So when I run this and I go back here, hopefully the event will be created. There we go. Okay, so we've got morning first briefing. Okay, we're making good progress. We'll carry on in the next video. All right, see you then.